First, starting with your pinky finger, tightly curl your topmost finger joints in. Then curl in the joints of the knuckles, squeezing as tightly as you can. Finally, wrap your thumb around the outside of your index fingers so it doesn't get jammed or caught on clothing. Never have your thumb on the inside of your fingers unless you want to break it and your fingers on impact. When you punch, you need to keep your wrists straight, and the point of contact needs to be these two large knuckles. You can test this by supporting your weight on the ground with your fists in either a crouching position or push-up position. If you can support your weight on these two knuckles while keeping your wrist straight, you know your punch will be in a solid alignment. Your strongest punch will come when you are in a solid stance. For most people, this will be feet shoulder-width apart, with one foot slightly ahead of the other, and the toes of both feet pointing forwards. The lead hand punch is usually thought of as a faster punch because it is closer to the opponent, while the rear hand punch is always stronger because of the biomechanical advantage of pushing the punch off the rear foot and rotating the hips. When you punch, don't just use your arms. Instead, push off from the ground with your feet, pushing forwards with the foot on the side of the hand you're punching with, and backwards with the other foot. Use this pushing action to rotate your hips, and continue this rotation through your core and into your shoulders, and then finally your elbow and wrist. This will put the power of your entire body into each hit. For maximum power, you'll also want to feel like you're sinking your body weight down as you hit, with your weight landing at the same moment as your punch. Don't just tap the surface of what you're hitting, you need to punch at least a few inches right through your target. Stay relaxed as you throw your punch, but tense up every muscle in your body just before impact, exhaling forcefully as you hit. If you really want to add power, and maybe throw your opponent off guard, turn your exhale into a ki shout. In traditional karate, when we punch, we practice pulling our other hand back to our hips. This is called hikite, and among other things, this helps teach us to punch from the hips. But when you're fighting, you should only do this if you are grabbing someone and pulling them as you punch to double your power and control their arm. If you're not grabbing something, you need to keep your hands up in a guard protecting your head like a boxer. Always prioritize protecting your head. You can train your body to be tougher, but you can't toughen up your head, and no amount of head trauma is healthy. One bad hit to the head can have serious consequences. Even just getting knocked down and hitting your head on concrete can be lethal. While hits to the head can be quite debilitating, heads are also very hard, have lots of weird angles, and tend to move around a lot, making hitting them in the right way difficult and risky for injuring your hands, especially if you're new to punching and haven't conditioned your knuckles yet. If you must strike the head, consider using a vertical fist, which creates a safer wrist alignment. Just make sure you're still hitting with a straight wrist and those two big knuckles. Or, alternately, you can use a palm strike, which takes wrist to the knuckles out entirely.
Okay.
Remember, it takes at least 10,000 repetitions to become proficient at something, and 100,000 to master it, so try to practice a bit every day. Striking the air is okay, but it's better to have at least something to aim for. You can use the mirror, a rope, a ball on an elastic, or a suitable hard target like a heavy bag or makiwara. Most importantly, solo work on its own won't make you proficient. Eventually, you will need to work with a live partner to gain the skills you need to actually apply your techniques, either in a martial arts class or with a friend who wants to study with you.